My girlfriend of 4 years, Sarah, cheated on me. That's a rough start to a story. I know, but it gets so much worse. We were that couple, the one everyone thought was perfect. We had a beautiful apartment, a shared dog, and we were even talking about marriage. Our friend group was completely intertwined. A big, happy family. Or so I thought. The day I found out, it wasn't some dramatic confrontation. It was a text message. A simple, accidental text from her to me, meant for someone else. It said, "I can't stop thinking about last night. He has no idea." My world just shattered. I confronted her, and to my complete shock, she didn't even try to deny it. She just cried and said it was a mistake. The guy was Mark, someone from her office. I didn't know him, which was a small mercy, I guess. I told her it was over. I was heartbroken, devastated, but I knew I couldn't stay. I packed a bag and went to my parents' house, just needing some space to breathe. And that's when the real nightmare began. The next day, my phone started blowing up, not with messages of support, but with accusations. My best friend, Jake, called first. He was furious. "How could you do that to Sarah?" he yelled. I was confused. Do what? She's the one who cheated on me. But Jake wouldn't listen. He said Sarah told him I'd been emotionally distant for months, that I was controlling, and that I'd been seeing someone else. It was a complete fabrication, a twisted version of reality she had spun to make herself the victim. One by one, our mutual friends followed suit. I got angry texts, blocked on social media, and cold shoulders from people I considered my family. They all bought her story. Sarah had always been the social butterfly, the one everyone adored. I was quieter, more reserved. It was her word against mine, and her word, it seemed, was gold. She had systematically turned my entire support system against me. I was alone, grieving a breakup and a betrayal, and now I was a social outcast, painted as the villain in my own tragedy. The lowest point came when they threw a support Sarah party. A party. I saw the pictures online. Everyone was there, smiling, hugging her, while I was sitting in my childhood bedroom, feeling like I had ceased to exist. They didn't just break up with me. The pain was unbearable. But as the days turned into weeks, that pain started to curdle. It turned into a cold, hard anger. They wanted a villain. Fine. I'd give them one. But I was going to do it my way. My revenge wouldn't be loud or explosive. It would be quiet, methodical, and absolute. I started with the apartment. We were both on the lease, but I had paid the security deposit and the first 2 months' rent myself. I had the receipts. I contacted the landlord, explained the situation, and provided my documentation. Since Sarah had violated our private agreement by not contributing her share up front, and with a lease ending in 2 months, I legally rescinded my co-signature. The landlord, seeing the proof, had no choice but to inform Sarah that the lease would not be renewed under the current terms, and that she would be solely responsible for the final 2 months' rent, or she would have to vacate immediately. Panic set in for her. Suddenly, her perfect little life had a major crack in it. Next, our friends. I didn't try to win them back. They had made that choice. Instead, I focused on the truth. I knew Sarah had been complaining to them about her job, how much she hated her boss, and how she was slacking off. She'd even bragged about using company time to plan her girls' trips. I had seen the emails and group chats on our shared home computer before I left. I didn't steal them. I just save them. I knew one of our friends, a guy named Kevin, was a notorious gossip and worked in a similar industry. I accidentally ran into him one day. I played the part of the sad, broken man. I just don't understand what I did wrong, I'd say. I was trying so hard to support her, especially with how stressed she was about her job. I subtly dropped hints about her creative use of company time and her colorful opinions of her superiors. I knew Kevin couldn't resist a juicy story. I just planted the seed and let his gossiping nature do the rest. Within a week, the whispers started. The story, now traveling through the grapevine, reached someone who knew someone at Sarah's company. An anonymous tip was filed with HR. They launched an internal investigation. They found everything. The emails, the chat logs of her bad-mouthing her boss, the proof she was doing personal errands on the clock. It was all there. Sarah wasn't just fired. She was fired spectacularly for gross misconduct. The same week, her eviction notice became final. Now, for the grand finale. Sarah's new guy, Mark, through some light social media digging. I found out he was a fitness fanatic and was training for a major marathon, raising money for a well-known children's charity. His fundraising page was public, filled with posts about his dedication and integrity. It was almost too perfect. I also discovered, through a mutual acquaintance, who was finally starting to doubt Sarah's story, that Mark was married. His wife had no idea about the affair. This required a more delicate touch. I created an anonymous email account. I compiled the evidence of the Afara screenshot of that first incriminating text. Dates, times, and locations I had pieced together. I sent it all to two people. The first was the charity organization for the marathon. I framed the email as a concerned donor, questioning the character of a person representing their brand, attached the proof of his infidelity, and wondered aloud if he truly embodied the values of their organization. The second email, with the same evidence, went to Mark's wife. I simply wrote, "I believe you deserve to know the truth. I am so sorry. I didn't want to be cruel to her. She was an innocent victim in all of this. But the truth had to come out. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. The charity, not wanting a scandal, publicly cut ties with Mark, citing a violation of their code of conduct. His fundraising page was taken down. His reputation as a community role model was shattered, and his wife, armed with undeniable proof, left him. His life was imploding, and because of his association with Sarah, her name was dragged right into his public mess. Suddenly, our old friends were seeing a very different story. Sarah wasn't the poor victim. She was the homewrecker who got fired for being lazy and unethical. The narrative she had so carefully constructed had crumbled into dust. My phone started buzzing again. This time, a different tune. "Apologies. Dude. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. We should have listened to you." Sarah completely played us. The messages flooded in. I read each one, and I didn't reply. Not a single one. Their friendship was conditional. It was based on a popular vote, and I had lost. I didn't want it back. I never spoke to Sarah again. I heard through the grapevine she had to move back in with her parents, jobless and disgraced. My friends. I lost them, but I realized they were never truly mine to begin with. The silence from my end was the loudest message I could send. My revenge wasn't about yelling or screaming. It was about letting their own actions and the truth become their downfall. I took back my life, not by rebuilding the old one, but by clearing the debris and starting fresh on my own terms. I got a new apartment, made new, genuine friends, and found a piece I hadn't realized I was missing. They turned on me, so I turned the tables, and I have never, ever looked back. Thanks for watching my story. If you've been through something similar, remember that your worth isn't defined by those who betray you. Sometimes the best revenge is simply moving on and building a better life. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time.